Hello students, this is Shweta Roy. This video is for chapter 2 part 6 History, Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. This is the last video of this chapter and we are going to discuss the question answer of the chapter in this video. First question is, what were the social, economic and political conditions in Russia before 1905? Answer is, the social, economic and political conditions in Russia before 1905 was backward. Social conditions. 85% of Russia's population was agriculturist. Industry was existent, but rarely, in which most of was privately owned. Workers were divided on the basis of their occupation. They mainly migrated to cities for employment in factories. The peasant community was deeply religious but did not care much about the nobility. They believed that land must be divided amongst themselves. Economic condition. Russia was going through bad period economically. Prices of essential goods rises while real wages decreased by 20%, leading to the famous St. Petersburg strike. This strike started a series of events that are together known as the 1905 revolution. During this revolution, there were strikes all over the country. Universities closed down and various professionals and workers established the Union of Unions, demanding the establishment of a constituent assembly. Political condition. Political parties were illegal before 1914. The Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party was founded in 1898 by socialists who respected Marx's ideas. In 1903, this party was divided into two groups, Mensheviks and Bolsheviks. The Bolsheviks, who were in majority, were led by Lenin, who is regarded as the greatest thinker on socialism after Marx. Second question, in what ways was the working population in Russia different from other countries in Europe before 1917? The answer is, the working population in Russia was different from other countries revolutions in Europe before 1917 because not all Russian workers migrated from the villages to work in the industrial sector. Some of them continued to live in villages and went to work daily to the towns. They were a divided group, socially and professionally, and this showed in their dress and manners too. Metal workers were the aristocrats of the working class because their occupation demanded more training and skill. Nevertheless, the working population was united on one front: strikes against work conditions and employer tyranny. Question number 3. Why did the Tsarist autocracy collapse in 1917? And the answer is the Tsar first dismissed the initial two Dumas and then packed the parliament with the conservatives. During the First World War, the Tsar took decision without consulting the Duma. Large-scale casualties of Russian soldiers in the war further alienated the people from the Tsar. Burning of crops and buildings by the retreating Russian armies created huge shortage of food in Russia. All this led to the collapse of the Tsarist autocracy in 1917. Question number 4. Make two lists. One with the main events and the effects of the February Revolution, and other with the main events and effects of the October Revolution. Write a paragraph on who was involved in it, who were the leaders, and what was the impact of each on Soviet history. So first we will discuss about February Revolution. 22nd February. Factory lockout on the right bank took place. 25th February, Duma was dissolved. 27th February, police headquarters ransacked, regiments support the workers, formation of Soviet. 22nd March, the Tsar abdicated his power. The Soviet and Duma leaders formed a provisional government for Russia. The February Revolution had no political party at its forefront. It was led by the people themselves. Petrograd had brought down the monarchy and thus gained a significant place in Soviet history. Trade unions grew in number. Next is October Revolution. 16th October. A military revolutionary committee was appointed by Soviet. 24th October. The uprising against provisional government begins. Military Revolutionary Committee controls the city by night and ministers surrender. The Bolshevik gained power. The October Revolution was primarily led by Lenin and his subordinate Trotsky. and involved the masses who supported these leaders. It marked the beginning of Lenin's rule over the Soviet, with the Bolsheviks under his guidance. First question is, what were the social, economic and political conditions in Russia before 1905? Answer is, the social, economic and political conditions in Russia before 1905 was backward. Social conditions. 85% of Russia's population was agriculturist. Industry was existent, but rarely, in which most of was privately owned. Workers were divided on the basis of their occupation. They mainly migrated to cities for employment in factories. Question number 6. Write a few lines to show what you know about Kulaksh, the Duma, women workers between 1900 and 1930, the liberals, Stalin's collectivization program. So first is Kulaksh. It is the Russian term for wealthy peasants who Stalin believed were hoarding grains to gain more profit. By 1927 to 28, the towns of Soviet Russia were facing an acute problem of grain supplies. Kulaks were thought to be partly responsible for this, also to develop modern farms and run them along industrial lines. The party under the leadership of Stalin thought it was necessary to eliminate kulaks. Second is Duma. During 1905 revolution, the Tsar allowed the creation of an elected consultative parliament in Russia. This elected consultative parliament in Russia was called Duma. Third is women workers between 1900 and 1930. They made up 31% of the factory labor force by 1914, but were paid almost half and three-quarters of the wages given to the men. However, interestingly, it were the women workers who led the way to strikes during the February Revolution. Fourth is the liberals. They espoused a nation that was tolerant towards all religions, one that would protect individual rights against the government. Although the liberals wanted an elected parliamentary form of governance, they believed that the right to vote must only belong to men, and that to the ones who were property holders. Next we have Stalin's collectivization program. Stalin believed that collectivization of agriculture would help in improving grains supplies in Russia. He began collectivization in 1929. All peasants were forced to cultivate in collective farms, kolkhoz. The bulk of land and implements were transferred to the ownership of collective farm. Many peasants protested such attempts and destroyed livestock to show their anger. Collectivization did not bring the desired result in the food supply situation, turned even worse in subsequent years. I hope you all understood all the topics taught in this video. Thank you.